Blitz on 2, brought to you by Cruise Chevrolet, Steen Enterprises, and McDonald's.
Good evening, football fans. Welcome to another Friday night full of high school football. I'm Brendan Clark, and it's week 4 of the season, mid-September. Still got a few undefeated teams, but still have some teams looking for their first win. Packed night of football tonight. Here are some of the storylines that we are following. One of the unbeatens, Ashley Ridge, led by QB Stephen Duncan. The Foxes with their hands full against Stratford. Fort Dorchester also with the goose egg in the loss column, but they would have to win at Goose Creek tonight. Hand-to-hand, stud receiver Sammy Denmark in a quality Cane Bay squad. Bishop England looking for their second straight win, but they'd have to do that up there in the woods of St. Stephen against Timberland. Evan and Laney, all the highlights coming your way, but first, the Blitz on 2 game of the week tonight, a game we live stream in its entirety, and what a game it was. Somerville, Wando, a homecoming game. Laney with the game recap. Hey, Laney.
Hey, Brendan, 2 teams that have combined for 5 losses already, but still critical for both. Somerville has reeled off 2 straight wins after losing their first 2 of the season, and Wando still looking for their first win after 3 heartbreakers to start the 2015 season. So let's check out the highlights, our Blitz on 2 game of the week. The Wave and Warriors. If you bought a ticket to this game, you got your money's worth right from the start. Wando 5 yards out. Bailey Hart hands it off to Kevin Brown, who drives it in. Wando goes up 7. Later on, still in the first, Warriors have the ball back. Hart scrambles a picture-perfect pass and picture-perfect route from Trey Smith. You're not stopping that. Next snap, Hart hits Trey Smith again across the middle, and he pulls his way into the end zone. Green Wave responds. Hunter Taylor fakes the handoff, keeps it up the middle for a 50-yard score from the quarterback. More scoring still to go in the first half. Taylor, this time, he's going to air the ball out, and he's throwing it up to one of his favorite targets, Krishawn Jackson. And that would make it 37-35 game at halftime. Second half, it was the Kevin Brown show. This guy had 4 touchdowns tonight. A lot of defense played. Wando gets their first win of the year, 64-49. And could Ashley Ridge keep their perfect record? The Foxes would have to beat Stratford tonight. The Knights playing D early. Javon Coiner with the sack of Stephen Duncan. End of the first quarter, and J.D. Davis rolls out. He finds Mikey White with a big gain to the 10. This would set up Stratford for the next play, second quarter, and Davis to Andrew. Watch this one. He rolls out, and it's a nice one catch. And it's in the end zone. Ashley Ridge would respond with no other than Stephen Duncan, and that would be the end of that one. The final 24-10, and Ashley Ridge win. In a good matchup at Cane Bay tonight, the Cobras hosting the undefeated Hanahan Hawks. Defense came to play in the first quarter. Cobras driving, but they cough it up, and the Hawks recover. But they would give it right back. The Cobras start slithering in the second, still scoreless. Chris Copeland finds his way into the red zone, but he takes a lick from Malik Simmons, who loses his helmet. The next play, Keenan Simpson scampers in for 6 points as Hanahan takes a 7-0 lead after the extra point. Cane Bay wins 17 now. Over to Evan West for more highlights.
Last Friday, we saw something that we hadn't seen since 2009. Goose Creek losing to a low country team. To make matters worse, that loss was a shutout at the hands of Somerville. The Gators already with 2 losses this season, and they went up against one of the best in the state tonight. Undefeated Fort Dorchester paying a visit to the Creek. It was tied 7-7 at the half, but that did not last long. That's DeCarrion Joyner to Raquan Sanders. Sanders says, peace to the defense. PAT was no good. It's 13-7, Fort D on top. The Gators would answer, though. Dominique Jefferson, he can air it out a little bit, too. Dejon Profit, well, he's very profitable in the end zone. Pays off. The PAT, no good for Goose Creek, so we're tied at 13. And the Patriots would finally take the lead for good in the fourth. Detron James looking like Edgar and James bouncing off tackles right here. The score makes it 20-13. Fort D survives in the Creek. That's your final right there, 20-13. Next stop, the backyard, better known as Trojan Stadium. James Island hosting St. John's. First quarter action, still scoreless. Trojans first and goal, and that's Mr. Bus Hamilton. Can't even get our cameras right there, but he rolls in for 6. That counts James Island back on offense. Brody Shelburne airs it out. Watch out, Laney. Whoa! She almost gets hit, but she's fine. Thank goodness. Trojans end up taking it to the red zone, and there's only one way to get out. All aboard the bus. He's got the snap and breaks through the tackles. There'd be a lot more where that came from. The Trojans rode their bus on their way to a 41-0 win over St. John's. Colleton County looking to get back into the win column, or looking to get into the win column rather. The Cougars making a trip up to West Ashley tonight. The game starting off at a stalemate. Justin Williams trying to make something happen for the Cougs. He's scrambling around like a dozen eggs, trying to avoid every tackle in sight, but he cannot hold on to the football. Colleton County would recover, but they would not score. Meanwhile, Justin Berry, he would give it right back. Shaking off a little rust from that injury. Trey Murray with the pick, but can he score? Will he score? No, he won't. He's tackled just short, and there was no damage done. The Wildcats get the ball right back, and Justin Berry shows the world that he is healthy and he can run for the game's first touchdown. West Ashley with a big win tonight, 31-13, the final score. In North Charleston, the Acmac Raptors hoping to spread their wings against the Bobcats of Baptist Hill. Familiar call for the Raptors right here. The handoff to Nate Schlosser, who jukes by one guy for the game's first score. It's 6-0. Next possession, Acmac can air it out to Zach Zuber on the receiving end of this rainbow. Ooh, that's a nice catch. He almost gets in, but he's tackled just shy of the goal line. Next play, it's Schlosser sloshing his way into the end zone. 12-0 Acmac, all a part of a 50-14 win. Now let's send it back to Laney for more highlights.
Hey, Evan, the Burke Bulldogs dealing with terrible field conditions at Stony Field. So they had planned to play their home games in West Ashley at Old Ravenel Stadium, but a deal worked out and has them playing at the Bulldogs' Johnson Haygood. And I have to say, it's what you would call a pretty good upgrade. Burke at Haygood hosting Lake Marion. It's not going too well for the Bulldogs at first. Lake Marion leading 33, Burke 0. Shimmer of hope for the boys in blue on this punt. The ball going straight up. Number 8 gets it, and he's taking it all the way back to Lonza Simmons straight into the end zone to put points on the board. They also get the extra point, now 33-7. Lake Marion doesn't get discouraged with the handoff to number 28, James Davis. It's a clean getaway to the end zone to make it Lake Marion 39, Burke 7. Lake Marion would take that one 46-7. And Bishop England looking for their second straight win, but the Bishops playing at Powerhouse Timberland. First quarter, Wolves take the lead. Armonte Prelu around the left side, 6-0. Timberland responds. Leo Albano keeps it, goes up 8-6. The Brandon Simmons show from there. Simmons scores 3 touchdowns in the ball game as the Wolves howl up in St. Stephen's night. Timberland wins 35-8. Evan?
Thanks, Laney. The surprise Garrett Falcons flying high as they hosted Stahl with a beautiful sunset. The Stahl Warriors, well, they struck first on the battlefield. Jalen Bethay winds and fires to Devin McCoy, who's tackled at the 15-yard line. A couple plays later, they've got plenty of options, if you know what I'm saying, but Bethay optioning out to C.J. Carroll, who lunges in for the score. The 2-point conversion puts Stahl ahead 8-0, but the Falcons don't let that lead last long. Kenneth Jones put some juice on that pass. Daquan Wilson more open than a Burger King drive-through lane. He's high-stepping for 6. Garrett picks up a nice win, 40-22, the final over Stahl. Military Magnet and Ridgeland Hardyville playing at North Charleston High School tonight. Pick things up in the second half. Ridgeland up 19-0. Military Magnet snaps it right over the quarterback's head, and the Jaguars pounce on the loose ball. Ridgeville would take advantage right here. Eric Wilson just slams his way into the end zone. 26-0 now. Later, the snap sails over the quarterback's head again. Can we get these guys a center out here? This time the Jags recover in the end zone for another touchdown, all a part of a 57-0 shutout of Military Magnet. Now, Brendan, let's send it back to the desk.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm taking notes on you guys out here. Wando, 64 points versus Somerville. How the heck were the Warriors 0-3? Big question of the night there. Fort D, best start ever for them. Ashley Ridge, also undefeated. Academic Magnet, also undefeated. Got some good teams down here in the Low Country, some great highlights. We got some coming up more. This is our first time out, but still to come on the Blitz on 2. More games, of course, from around the Low Country, including defending state champ Northwood. We're checking out Skeeza teams when we come back. You're watching Blitz on 2.